You're watching News 4 in prime time, on your side, in high definition.
And we couldn't be happier with the crowds, the success. The overall event went very, very well this year.
Well, it's a wrap for Hot August Night's 28th year, and the cars are leaving town, but one is staying behind to help local children. We'll tell you how you can get the keys.
Plus, for the second day in a row, residents in Ohio remain without drinkable water, why the National Guard is now being called in. News 4 in prime time starts right now. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandria Canedo.
And I'm Dylan Kendrick. Now, the 28th annual Hot August Nights Week of Classic Cars comes to a close today with a goodbye parade downtown.
But one car is staying behind to help children in need in our area. News 4's Van 2 tells us the party isn't over for the Hot August Nights Foundation.
Well, Hot August Nights brings in those tourism numbers as hundreds of thousands visit our area to watch those classic cars, but a part of it is also giving back to children.
The week-long rendezvous celebrating America's love affair with cars and rock and roll comes to another end, and Hot August Nights Executive Director Tony Marini could not be happier with the turnout.
We get hundreds of thousands of people that show up to watch the cruises, so it puts Reno in a very good light.
In its 28th year, Hot August Nights brought back tried and true traditions and experimented with new events.
We had some of the greatest cars in the world show up here for the Barrett-Jackson Cup. We tried autocross this year, huge success, going to expand on that.
They'll go back into planning mode for next year, but the party isn't quite over for Hot August Nights.
No, not for us, not for the foundation. We continue to work year-round to do things for the kids.
The Hot August Nights Foundation will be holding raffles for a donated 1972 Corvette Stingray T-top until November.
And what we do is raise money for kids at risk and in need, and then we donate all those funds to them.
Raffles will be held at other area events like the Rib Cook-Off, Oktoberfest, and the Reno Air Races.
The money raised in those raffles will benefit the Truckee Meadows Boys and Girls Club, O'Brien Middle School, and Washoe Inspire Academy. Back to you at the desk.
Well, staying on topic, the statistics from Hot August Nights are in, and Special Event Program Manager Alexis Hill is proud to announce that arrests during the event were down 40% from last year. Now, 14 people were arrested. Only one of those arrests was for a DUI, and 4 people were arrested for panhandling. For a full statistics report, head to mynews4.com.
The Nevada's 150th celebration events went all day long today in Carson City. Hundreds of Nevadans gathered at Fiji Park for a festive day full of live music, good food, and carnival rides. A variety of local bands performed on stage, and even the famous Wienermobile made a surprise appearance this afternoon. Organizers say today's fair was all about celebrating the state of Nevada.
I think the 150th celebration has really been accomplished with this fair. I think everywhere from the ribbon cutting through all the events, and I think the vendors have done a really good job of promoting the 150th, and no, I think it's absolutely shown through.
Today's event goes until midnight. Nevada's 150th celebration events run until October. For a full list of calendar events, you can visit our website at mynews4.com.
A gang-related shooting suspect tracked down by Reno police earlier Saturday morning has made bail. A 21-year-old Marcos Garcia is suspected of shooting someone after 2 groups walking on Virginia Street confronted each other. Reno police say Garcia fled the scene on foot, and officers tracked him down about a mile away from the shooting on Virginia and Plaza. Garcia was arrested, and his bail was set at $30,000. He was released sometime on Saturday, and the victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. This is being investigated as a game-related crime. Well, it was overcast out there for much of northern Nevada this afternoon. We have some wet weather headed our way, so let's take a look at your first forecast. Here's a look outside at your Aces ballpark cam. Staying dry out there currently, but as I said, a lot of that is about to change. Currently in Reno right now, sitting into the upper 80s, 87 to be exact, with those winds out of the west-northwest at 20 miles per hour and that humidity at 20%. So satellite radar shows all that monsoonal moisture pushing up from the south. Las Vegas about to be slammed by some very severe thunderstorms actually at this hour, but we are going to look at these thunderstorms continue to trend north as the week progresses. So current temperatures across the region right now, 83 in Elko and Winnemucca, a little cooler in Eureka at 76 and 69 for Ely. Now highs today, we top things off at 91 for Reno, but look at that, actually cooler down south in Las Vegas today, topping things off at 86, and both Tonopah and Ely top things off at 75 degrees. But like I said, we have more of that wet weather headed our way. I'll talk about that in your full 7-day forecast in just a minute.
Well, the PGA's week in Northern Nevada has come to a close. Out to Montreux, where Jeff Ogilvy came into the final round with the lead, and he wouldn't let it go. Ogilvy finished with 49 points in that modified Stableford scoring system. That was 5 points better than the runner-up Justin Hicks. It's Ogilvy's first PGA Tour win since 2010. We'll hear from the champ coming up later in sports. And the Wild Creek Golf Course in Sparks took host to another annual tournament. The third annual MDA Charity Golf Tournament teed off this morning. Golfers of all ages took part in the action in an effort to raise money for the local Muscular Dystrophy Association. The 18th hole round of fun was followed by a post-tournament raffle. Golfers say today's tournament is all about helping local people living with MDA.
We're having a kid that is their national sponsor, or local sponsor I should say. He's going to come out and talk to us today and just show us that, hey, this is what it's going to. We help support the local families here, and the money that we raise here stays locally here too. It doesn't go to the national. It stays local to help the local families suffering with MDA.
Today's event was hosted by the National Association of Letter Carriers, who have been supporting the MDA Association for more than 50 years.
Well, a local restaurant is teaming up with the SPCA of Northern Nevada tonight. Cafe de Thai played host to a fundraiser geared towards raising money for area homeless pets. Live entertainment, raffles, and a silent auction were featured, with all proceeds going to the SPCA. Now, this is the third year Cafe de Thai and the SPCA are working together. The SPCA's adoption goal for this year is 1,864, coinciding with Nevada's 150th anniversary, celebrating Nevada's admission to the Union in 1864.
Well, still ahead on News 4 in prime time, a second American with the Ebola virus is set to arrive in the U.S. this week. The latest on the outbreak and how both Americans are doing tonight.
Plus, the National Guard has been called out as hundreds of thousands of Ohio residents still remain without drinkable water. What's causing the toxin levels to rise? News 4 in prime time. We'll be right back.